Friday Night Blitz on Newswatch 12. Your Blitz starts now.
Welcome to the Friday Night Blitz season preview. We are live here from Buckethead's Bar and Grill in Rhinelander. I'm Saul Meyer. That is Drew Celli. And joining us is the reigning Great Northern Conference Coach of the Year, current head coach of the Lakeland Union T-Birds, Dan Barutha. Dan, you guys have a good team, a lot of returning seniors, including Noah Bruckner. What can we expect from you guys this season?
Well, we got to be able to play our standard of football, so, it's important that, like we talk with our guys, the things that we want to see on tape in terms of our offense, defense, and special teams show up, and we take practice and the expectations that we've set on ourselves and be able to carry those things forward.
Absolutely, yeah. What do you got, Drew?
Yeah, obviously last season you guys, second half of the year really came on strong after a tough first half. So going into this season, has the emphasis really been on, like, all right, guys, out of the gate, we got to be a little more ready to go than we were a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, that's the emphasis every year, and certainly things that in and out of your control play into that kind of success you can have. In terms of referencing Noah Bruckner, he's been able to step up and do a very nice job early on for us, trying to create player-led leadership. A player-led team has no ceiling compared to a coach-led team, which has a ceiling. And our guys, our 5 captains this year, have done an incredible job already leading and being able to get our guys hot with early success and an incredible start.
Absolutely, and talking about Noah Bruckner, 1,000-yard rusher coming back from last season, just like Rocky Wagner we were talking about earlier. You guys have, the past couple of years, put the emphasis on 1,000-yard rushers, really good run game, really good offensive line. Would you say that's going to change this year, or are you sticking to the run?
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, it's all dependent. We have a variety of different aspects of our offense that we can really take advantage of. And so it really depends game plan-wise going in. What does the matchup dictate? Where do we feel our strengths are? We always organize our offense and our defense and our schematics around the strengths of our team. Noah is certainly a strength of our team, but you look at the offensive linemen that we have, our fullbacks and our tight ends, and that's a strength. So when you have that, and you have quarterbacks who throw really well outside of the pocket and off of play action, you're going to build it around the run game. So every year, we start scratch, build in what we know we do well based on our strengths, and it just happens to be that this is what our strengths are, but we have a variety of different things we can do.
Absolutely, yeah. What do you got, Drew?
Coach, last year in the Great Northern Conference, obviously Mosinee was an elite team and went undefeated, won the conference. They graduated a lot, and now the conference it's a whole new look. It's a lot more open and some new teams coming into the conference. Just talk about how you kind of view the GNC this year. Definitely a lot more open than probably it was last year.
Well, I mean, it's a very good conference. It's an incredible conference top to bottom. We have nothing but respect for all the teams in the conference. Mosinee is certainly at the top of the list. Medford is a very good team, very well coached, very physical. Anago, we have had some absolute battles with them. Hayward and Ashland were in the conference for the last few years. They now leave, but they're still great non-conference matchups. Rhinelander here, we've had some absolute wars with them in the years that I've been at Lakeland. I mean, top to bottom, Merrill's tough. So we have some very, very good teams top to bottom. There's never an off week in the GNC, and they are fast, they are physical, and they really get after it, and every Friday night is a hard-fought contest.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach. Lakeland Union, they've got Hayward, former conference opponent, now non-conference, week 1 in Minocqua. Y'all be sure to go check out that game for the T-Birds. Now, moving on to another Bird team, Northland Pines. After years of playing football, the Northland Pines Eagles were unable to put together a varsity roster for this past season. Now, after a year, the varsity team is back. We're joined by Will Haraldson here in the bar at Bucketheads, and he visited the Eagles practice today and has more on their return. Will?
That's right, guys. After missing last season, Northland Pines varsity football team is back, and the excitement is high. I had a chance to catch up with the Eagles head coach and learn more about what we can expect for them this season.
Shuffle, finish. We've got some seniors that have really developed and been serious about it, and some young kids that are enthusiastic about the future.
Northland Pines football is back. After a year of JV-only football, the varsity team is back and is being led by a familiar face, Steve Graff.
I was the head coach in 2008. I was the head coach in 2022, and here we are again. So this is actually my third stint here.
Along with his time as a high school coach, Graff has 15 years of experience of coaching at the college level. Needless to say, the guy knows football. He explained their process of rebuilding the varsity football team.
Our goal last year was really to better prepare our kids, our program for this season. And that's everything from confidence, that's everything from football IQ, skill development, physical development. So it was a big sacrifice last year doing what we did.
Rebuilding a program is always going to be a difficult task, but Graff said the collective teamwork was the key. And to top it all off, he said the positivity coming from both coaches and players was infectious.
I think that the athletes are learning some things. There's great energy. I think that energy is contagious, that positivity is contagious. I think that's part of the reason we have more kids coming out for football this year.
Graff says that even though this is their first season back, he still has high expectations for his team.
Our goal is to win, and in order to win, we know we've got to go out and execute. We know that we got to stay together and be positive. We know that we got to fight through adversity, and and then compete, of course.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz season preview. I'm Saul Meyer. That is Drew Chelly. You guys just saw us have a conversation with Dan Barutha, Great Northern Conference Coach of the Year for Lakeland Union. Now we're here with one of his future opponents this year, Dewey Riley, head coach of Tomahawk football. Coach Riley, let's jump right into it. How's the team looking this year?
I'm very happy with where we're at. I feel like we're on track. Obviously, this being my second year with a little bit more time to prepare and knowing what I want to do going into the season. We had a great scrimmage today down in Colby. Very happy with where we're at.
Absolutely.
Just talk about how much easier it is starting, summer camp in year two, where, it's kind of knowing what you expect out of your players as opposed to last year starting, from square one.
Absolutely. I had a lot of these kids when I was coaching in middle school, and so I've had them in other sports, and I know kind of what our gene pool is when it comes to our skill set. And for me, it's always, the excitement of getting that puzzle box where I get to kind of mix and match and see how the pieces fit and hopefully put it together to put together a great season.
Absolutely. And I talked to you earlier this week, Coach, and you gave me one of the coolest mottos of the offseason. It's Tomahawk versus everyone. Can you kind of tell us what that culture is like and what that motto has meant to y'all this offseason?
100%. Yeah, it's, our favorite opponent is our next opponent. And, I've been telling these guys since they were little kids that we have to get that mentality, foot on the gas, and just work your tail off, get in the weight room, be bigger, faster, stronger, and let the chips fall where they may on the scoreboard. But as always, they're going to know that they played Tomahawk.
Absolutely, yeah.
And, the Great Northern Conference is not a stranger to you guys in other sports, and now you're in it on the football field. So these opponents are not strangers, but it must feel nice getting a crack at them on the gridiron year in and year out starting in 2024.
Absolutely. This is coming home for me. This is the conference that I grew up in. And so it's kind of like getting the band back together where you get to see the Medfords, the Mosinese, the Lakelands, the Rhinelanders. It's a rivalry week every week. And so, again, take it one step at a time. But, this is going to be fun for us being the small school coming in. People are, from what I've heard, underestimating us, and you do that at your own peril.
Absolutely, Coach. And we were talking a lot about the Great Northern Conference. You guys are coming over from the Northwoods Conference. And before you can say goodbye, you got a date with Crandon week one, former Northwoods Conference opponent. Now it's a non-conference game. What can we expect from that matchup?
As we talked earlier in the week, it's a well-coached team. You know that those kids, they're athletic. They love the sport of football. They're going to show up and they're going to play a fast, physical game. And it should be fun to watch. As always, our goal is have fun, and entertain everyone.
Absolutely. They got Crandon week one at Crandon, former conference opponent, now non-conference. That game went to overtime last year, so be sure to expect a battle. That's all the time we got for you, Coach. Thanks for coming out. Tune in at the end of after the break. We will have our pick'ems joined back by Will Harrelson. Stay tuned. You're watching the Blitz. Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz season preview. I'm Saul Meyer, that's Drew Chelly, and Will Harrelson is joining us now for our pick'ems. First off, the Great Northern Conference champs. We talked with two GNC coaches. Drew, who's your pick for the team that's going to win it?
I'm back in one of them. I'm going Lakeland Union. A lot of momentum after last season. I think the T-Birds make a run at it this year.
Absolutely. What about you, Will?
I'm going the 3-time defending champion. Got to go Mosinee.
And for me, I'm taking Medford. Never doubt Ted Wilson. Never doubt Paxton Rothmeyer with 1,500 rushing yards coming back. That is a lot. Moving on to our games now. We've got Hayward at Lakeland Union. Drew, who do you got?
I picked him as a conference champ. They better get going early. 1-0. I'll take Lakeland Union.
Yeah, I'm joining the bandwagon with you, Drew. I'm going Lakeland Union.
That seems like a clean sweep for the T-Birds. I am taking Lakeland Union as well. Moving on to our next game. We had Coach Riley here early. It's Tomahawk at Crandon. Who do you got?
Two teams that are pretty even. I'm going to go Hatchets this year.
Yeah, I'm joining that as well. Coach Riley came in. I got confidence in Tomahawk.
Let me break the streak and make sure Coach Riley's not
gone,
here anymore. I am taking Crandon. Give me the cards and the power T. All right, moving on. It is our game of the week for the third year in a row. The defending state champions, Stratford, taking on Mosinee. Stratford won this game last year, 33-14 in Mosinee. Year before that, it ended in a tie. This game is going to be at Stratford. Stratford D6 defending state champs, moving up to D5. Drew, who do you got?
Stratford wins all the time, so I'm going to pick Stratford.
Well, Stratford wins all the time, but not this time. Mosinee's got him.
I got the defending state champs. It is going to be another war, though. All of these games that we mentioned are war. Jack Tubbs coming back, 1,500 yards passing. It's going to be a great game. Well, that's all the time we got here for our Friday Night Blitz season preview. I'm Saul Meyer. Y'all be sure to tune into the Friday Night Blitz every Friday for your local high school